Yamini.
Namaste, sir. So actually, I was reading Markandeya Puran
Yeah.
some time back,
Okay.
and actually, it was like stories and everything. I couldn't grasp much of it, but then I started looking for the philosophical or like the video, the esoteric meaning of these stories.
Okay.
So then I came to know about all these concepts, and they were really intriguing.
Hmm.
So from there, I thought that I had some questions, so I should ask.
Hmm. Start.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. So, sir, my first question is that there is a problem of interpretation in like this is the problem I have found in the Quranic text. Like when I went through two to three different interpretations, so sometimes the kind of things you grasp change. The like there is an interpretation of T series which is available on YouTube, and there was this couple of intellectual who are trying to interpret. So it is different from what is available in Hindi, and in Hindi also T series is different from Gita Gorakhpur Express interpretation. So I wanted to ask how much meaning is diluted when different interpretations are seen.
Your question is specific to Devi Mahatmyam
Yes, I have read that part. Yes.
or a generic Purana which could be Markandeya Purana as a general one or
No,
only.
Markandeya Puran I have only read.
Uh,
Sir, as you like to answer, because I have read only one interpretation of Markandeya Puran, that is from Gita Gorakhpur Express.
see,
So
if you
haven't
generally
read much of it. So
if you
this one.
if you generally look at Puranas are only stories, Itihasas are like incidents which are used for describing the basic Vedic text. So, you are talking about Markandeya Purana. That itself says it is a Purana. So, Purana need not be the essence of the story. It is because Jaimini had a basic question to Markandeya. He is not asking a text or a book. The origin of Devi Mahatmyam, that is there in the Markandeya Purana, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
In which, what is that he is asking? Jaimini is asking, a great Markandeya Mahapratna. That's how it starts. Mahapratna, oh knowledgeable Markandeya, and you know the whole science of what is essentially required. Sarvashastra Visharada, that's a adjective used for Markandeya. And that person, stotram, please make me to hear. That's what he says. That means don't read a textbook, don't show me a textbook. What you should do is you should tell me. That's why it is called Purana. It is not Shastra which is available, which everybody can read. when I tell, I will only use my interpretation. So the beginning of Devi Mahatmyam itself is an interpretation. So what you are hearing, all the other interpretations by XYZ, even now what I am saying is what I heard from my mother. I asked Yamini and then you were asking me. I said it's a huge knowledge. I know little bit of it from my mother. You referred me to somebody's talk, which is actually horrible for me to listen. Because the accent doesn't match. He is from, probably I did not hear properly, because once you cannot accept the harmony, I did not even spend 1 minute on that, because that becomes unacceptable to me. He may be from I don't know, maybe Hare Rama Hare Krishna group or somebody. They are actually Krishna Bhaktas, but they will also speak about this, because wherever market is there, people will start. You are referring to T Series. That's a company which is manufacturing cassettes. You understood? So, where should I read my Purana? Is it from T Series or from Sony cassette, if you ask? You understood what I'm saying? So the basic text is to be understood from simple. Markandeya did not write any book. Jaimini did not write any book. What we have is what Jaimini asked Markandeya and what Markandeya gave an answer. It was written by Vyasa. So it is what he heard or what he understood, right? And that which he felt is useful for every one of us, he has written. Now on Vyasa there are many interpretations. That is what we get. Now there are two types of people in this world. Today also, I think when I was discussing on education on some forum, I was mentioning there are materialistic people. What do I get if I read? Today somebody said, yeah, this is a good day because tomorrow onwards Dashami Navaratri Akhosham is coming. This is the right time. Is there a right time to start learning about Devi? It's all we created the calendar, right? I don't think Markandeya or Jaimini told this. Even Vyasa would not have told. So who told this? It's some marketing fellows. Devi Mahatmyam are discussed by most of the people or any Tantra Shastram related, Shakteyam or Shaivism. They always talk about what do you get if I do it. There are many people like that. They are called Bhaktas. You know what do they do? If I do it, what benefit I will get? If I get, will I get education? If I get, will I get a job? So when you look at most of the Devi Mahatmyam or any Devi Sankalpa, definitely you will end up in interpretations which says if you do this 10 days like this, you will get this. If first day you do this, you become knowledgeable. Second day you do this, you can become courageous. Third day, these are all not at all correct. Originally, these were never told for. Do you think Jaimini had all these family problems and because of that he went to Markandeya and asked this question? So, when the medicine is not given for a disease, for a very specific diagnosis is done and then given. What could have been the diagnosis done by Markandeya to give this Devi Mahatmyam to Jaimini? Exactly the same what Krishna would have given to Arjuna. Same reason. No difference. Everything what is there in Itihasa and Purana has two versions. One, For those people who don't have anything, they want to get something. That is what today we are spreading. Actually, the intention was never like this, because Krishna did not give Bhagavad Gita to a beggar. He gave to somebody who had everything, who was not a failure, who was a successful man. But he was not able to use it in some specific period of time because he had a lot of confusion. Similarly, Jaimini also was not a person who wanted some knowledge so that he can put in his biodata, give another certificate, search for a job. That was not the purpose of knowledge during those days. It was Adhyatmikam. So any scripture which we have can be seen by Adhyatmika level. Adhyatmika is much higher than the Yaga, Yajna is the basics of Bharatiya Sanatana Dharma. I don't want. I am not interested in materialistic life. For such people, every Purana, every Itihasa is meant for people who had everything, who left everything for gaining a higher level of life. So it is not for getting job, it is not getting gold, it is not getting knowledge. No. Those who have knowledge, those who have sufficient material, how to get rid of their inabilities in self. What is Vyakti? The Vyakti is individual. That is how we translate. What is clear for us is only very little about what is available in the Prapancham. Prapancham is everything in which there is so much of knowledge. If you look at sound wave, the frequency in which hertz, millions of frequency levels are there. How much I can grasp? My ear is filtering and then permitting only little bit of sound. In that sound, again I am not converting every sound into knowledge. Again I am filtering. So there is lot of indriya which makes me not to accept what is available in the Prapancham. As a human being, I am asking a question, how do I get everything under this? How can I grasp large knowledge, limitless, boundless? That ability is what the traditional people were looking at. Jaimini definitely was looking for that. And for him, Markandeya gave this answer. Now you understand this base in which Devi Mahatmyam is built. And then look at what these speakers in T-series or cassette or YouTube are speaking. You understood, Yamini? In what philosophical background they were there, and what philosophical background these people are there, and what philosophical background you are looking at it. You are looking at it, I am sure, on an Adhyatmika level. But most of the famous talks which are available, because there is no market. Why my talk is only seen by 30 people or 50 people maximum? I am not selling it for, I will tell you tomorrow if I give a lecture, if you listen to this lecture, you will become Kodipati in next few months. And somebody is there to market, you will get millions of viewers. So this was never meant for that. This was all for successful people, those who have got a higher level, understand much higher than that. That was the aim. And by which what do you become? That's a beautiful philosophy which is to be understood. In my childhood, whatever knowledge which I have is from my parents and maybe some relatives, some elderly people who taught me. We used to hear one great story. I think that will clearly explain, because they are not meant for publicizing or something. They are coming from their heart. We had a great king. and we had a great Pandit. When they were meeting, they had a dialogue. The dialogue was one, Apati Kim Karaniyam. It's a great question which is most of the Kerala people knows. Because it's commonly spoken as a normal word. Apati Kim Karaniyam. What I am supposed to do when I am in real danger. Apati Kim Karaniyam. What I am supposed to do when I am in danger. Okay, tell me why Yamini asked this question. Because you are in danger. Because you are not able to understand what to do. That situation is called a dangerous situation, right? You don't know whether to follow this man or that man. He is telling something, the other man is telling something. What should I do? That's a question. So the danger can be in knowledge. When somebody loses money, we say that's a great danger. Somebody loses fame, they will say that's a great danger. So the danger can be for any people at any point of time. So it's a basic question. What do I do if I am in danger? You know the answer? Smaraniyam Charana Yugalam Ambayam. Surrender to your mother. The answer was surrender to your mother. So who is mother there? That is Devi. You know, I started reading Bhagavad Gita from Mahatma Gandhi's book. The book title was Gita, my mother. For every solution, mother is the... So somebody may see Bhagavad Gita as mother. Somebody may see Devi herself as mother. So here, Narayaniyam is the text which is to be seen as the mother. So I am surrendering to mother. That's what it means. I am surrendering myself to mother. The mother. Mother who is controlling the whole universe. So that Devi is seen by somebody in Lalita Sahasranamam, and that Devi is not different from what we are seeing in Narayaniyam. Each one is different. One is Jaimini got lesson from somebody, and the other one is we got somebody else. Like Sita got from Rama, could have been some lesson. Parvati got from Shiva is some other lesson. My mother gave me is some other lesson. Some Bhattadripad gave to a king. Apati Kim Karaniyam Smaraniyam Charana Yugalam Ambaya. You know immediately what is the question? The Brahmins who are all around them, they asked a question. Tat Smaranam Kim Kurude. What do we get when we think about Goddess Mother? See, everybody's intention is what do I get? If I pray, what do I get? Immediate question was that, what do I get? You know, the answer was Brahmadavi cha Kingari Kurude. Even if Brahma surrendered to Devi, what will Brahma become? I have a book written on Adi Parashakti. That is exactly this. If Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all of them used to surrender to Devi, what do they get?
Their powers, their existence.
No. You know, they will become servants of Amma. That's it. When you surrender to somebody, what will happen? You will become their servant. When I surrender to somebody, what do I become? I become their servant. Whatever they say, I will obey. That's it. Nothing else. So, when you surrender to God, even Brahma surrenders or a normal person surrenders, what do you get? You become their servant. That's it. You serve them. Expecting what is the question? Nothing you will get. You will only get the enjoyment. So what is that enjoyment? That enjoyment is what we call it as Adhyatmika status. You realize So in most of the discussions what we have, what is our problem? We have only three requirements in this world, or three powers. What governs me is three powers. One is a desire, Ichha Shakti. And to get the desire satisfied, I must get knowledge, Jnana Shakti. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, not enough. Kriya Shakti. There is only three energy levels which are glorified by Devi Sankalpa. Whenever we talk about Devi Sankalpa, understand there is only three. One is Ichha Shakti, desire, Jnana Shakti, which is knowledge, Kriya Shakti, which is action. If these three things are given, that is ultimate. But it all depends on who is giving interpretation. They will give entirely different interpretations based on their way of looking at it. Okay, so here we will assume that I am a person who loves ferocious style of Devi. I will say Mahishasura Mardini. Most popular Devi song is what? Mahishasura Mardini. You know the style in which Devi is like actually killing the Mahisha. What is Mahisha? Mahisha is an Asura. No, Mahisha is not Asura as far as Adhyatmika level is concerned. Mahisha can be an enemy if you are a Gunda. If you are a villain, Mahisha become a villain. But for those people like me, I love to see Mahisha is representing Atnanam. Durga is light. So Mahishasura Mardini Durga, when I look at it, for me, Devi enlightens me and my Atnanam is removed by Devi. So each one of us must look at Atnanam can be in which place. My Ichha Shakti can be wrong. My Jnana Shakti can be wrong, because I told you, whatever is in the Prapancham, everything is not being absorbed by me. There are filters. So what I want to do, I cannot change this filter. 20 to 20,000 hertz only my sound will go inside. But whatever I am hearing, am I able to process it and absorb knowledge? If at all I am not able to do it, that is because of X, Y, Z reasons. So my aim is to understand why am I not able to. So in Jnana Shakti there is some hurdles for me, and that hurdle is my enemy. Ichha Shakti, my desire, I depend on many people to satisfy my desire. So I wanted to kill all of them. Is it killing all of them or removing that desire in me so that I become independent? Everybody is happy when they become independent. But I cannot become independent because everybody is dependent on many people in this. How can I filter them? Again, that's a filtering. All the Panchendriyas, what I hear, what I see, what I touch, what I taste, what I pursue, and my thought process have to be cleaned, filtered. And then every ichha, every desire cannot be made into action. With the knowledge, I have to filter it. So Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti has to go hand in hand so that my action become 100% perfect, pleasant, so that I become Vijayi. What is Vijayam? Success. But there is no success in this world. After every success, there is again failure. Mahabharata was not a very successful program. Dharmaputra was not very successful. Again he had failure. So that change in my life from failure to success and my depression due to that has to go. That is why Devi has got the name Sarva Mangala Mangalya. What a beautiful name is that, you think? That one name is good enough. Sarva Mangalam. Not temporarily, for some time, at some purpose, for some good. No. For every good, every time, ultimate. So if you look at word by word in Devi, either in Lalita Sahasranamam or Narayaniam, there are a lot of common things. It's only when somebody told somebody, the interpretation of Markandeya was different, interpretation of Shiva was different. Understood? Don't look at T series and A series and B series. Don't tell me in some movie Shah Rukh Khan is telling about Lalita like this. That cannot be an interpretation, right? What we have to understand the basics. Then you look at, then you know, oh, those people had only minimum knowledge because they filtered many things. Are we able to, my intention or Jaimini's intention or Yamini's intention has to be, without filter, am I able to, the interpretations are filters. Am I able to get to the essence? So I am a being, I am a Vyakti, which is trying to understand Avyaktam, which doesn't have shape and cannot be described. So when I have a limitation and I am trying to find out limitless things with a limited ability in the Indriya. When I and you understand I am a limited person, we ourselves feel that so small and we are trying to understand the biggest thing in the world, the nature itself. How can I see the nature itself when I am not able to reach into that level? If that awareness is there in me and you, get to that awareness is enlightenment, starting of enlightenment. You understood? So Tantra Shastram describes that knowledge where they don't even have Ashtanga Yogam. They don't talk about Ashtanga Yogam at all. They talk about the Shatanga Yogam. Yama Niyama is not there. No rules at all. Discipline is not there. Non-violence is not there. You do whatever you want. Because in Tantra Shastram and the Devi Sankalpa, you cannot talk about non-violence because Devi itself is violent. So two things they removed in the Tantra Shastram. So when you look at Yoga Shastram, you will understand probably Tantra Shastram would have been older, in which each Shatanga Yogam was the original one. Then they added how to become pious, disciplined and all that. So in Tantra Shastram, to understand what you should do is, you must get rid of these limitations. No boundaries. Got it? Many people don't even understand this basic and they only read the text and then start giving interpretations. Then when you follow that, I am sure now when you follow, you will know, oh, whether I should listen to them or not. That's why when you have sent me, what is that ultimate? It's all nice to become a popular lecturer by taking examples of day-to-day affair and then telling this is why Devi Sankalpa was there. Navaratri can be explained because 9 different characters of ladies are required to handle families today. When you take tuition, it should be taught like this. There was no tuition for Jaimini and Markandeya. Got it? So, the present me and you should go from us. Adhyatmikata comes only when you credit yourself not in the present. You credit yourself in the past. And then start thinking in their life. That is the way a researcher should understand. Then your manifestation of Devi Sankalpa as an Asura, and within that itself there is a Devata Sankalpam which comes, and the Asurika Bhavam, that means Atnana, is dumped into nothing. It is all destroyed by the powerful Vijaya Devi. That things will come. Don't think in the intellectual level of today. Go back into the those days. And don't get into asura, rajatamo, guna. There are a lot of people interpret rajatama, satvika guna and all that. That and all later interpretations after Bhagavad Gita and all that. You are talking about a text which is much earlier to this. Devi Mahatmyam, see, even when we talk about Bhagavatam, it is not Krishna Bhagavatam at all. Today when you speak Bhagavatam to everybody, they will think it is Krishna story. That is because Krishna is popularized so much. I keep saying it is almost like when you want to make a photocopy, use a Xerox. The Xerox company patented photocopying itself. The Bhagavatam patented Krishna story itself. It was not nothing to do with Devi Bhagavatam is much older than Krishna Bhagavatam. So you cannot explain Devi Bhagavatam talking about Arjuna, but still I did the same thing. Why? Because that is more popular, easy to explain. That is just to tell it is not for failure people, it is for successful people. I am sure this dialogue what we are having today about Shakti cannot be given to somebody who is really starving. This is not for such people. These are for people who wanted to get enlightened. You cannot teach philosophy to somebody whose belly is not filled. So I am sure we have to look at the knowledge is given at a different level based on the seeker's requirement. So today we are discussing about Devi Mahatmyam. I keep on using the word Devi Mahatmyam, not Durga. What is the title which you gave?
Durga Saptashati.
Yeah, the Durga Saptashati itself is a new word. I don't think somebody gives the title because there are 700 slokas. Will I say that explaining Durga in 700 slokas is the number is more important? Or the Mahatmyam is important? That is why I don't even know that name. I may know that textually, intellectually, but it will not come from my manas. I can only say Devi Mahatmyam. I don't call, there are 900 slokas, 1200 slokas. How does it make a difference? How does it make a difference? My first chapter has only 90 slokas, second chapter has got, each one is a mantra. See, the beauty of Devi Mahatmyam is, each one is a mantra. And that mantra is not to be musical. Mantra is never musical. Understand that. How do somebody chant mantra? The way I am having dialogue now, in that speed only it should be chanted. Not lesser speed, not faster. The speed should be the way I am talking to you. That is what mantra. Because it is my manas. If I do that mananam, I am doing my mananam and that is how the words coming to from me. That mananam, trayate, that enlightens me and transcends me to a higher level. So what is the purpose of Devi Mahatmyam? Transcending myself to a higher level. It is not for any material benefit. Mantram is never given for material benefit. My level has to be raised up. I must realize the truth. I must understand what is the truth. The cosmic level, inner psychological level has to get up. Transcendental level going up is that. It can be psychological. Sometimes my brain is totally paradoxical. I don't know what is right, what is wrong, where is negative, what is positive. Lot of confusion. So I don't know who is Mahisha, what is right knowledge and what is wrong knowledge. Is it not a confusion in all of us? That is what I wanted to get it out of it. So I can look at Devi as different form. Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Annapurneshwari, Parvati, Durga Devi, Mahakali, Mahishasura Mardini, Ugra Chamanda Devi, whatever name you want. There are Nanadurga. Nanadurga is stay in rain. Vanadurga, stay in forest. Any name you want, you can name. Everyone is one and the same. Basic 3 types of bhakti: Adi Devikam, Adi Bhautikam, and Adi Atmikam. So, highest level is Atmiyata. That is what presently we are looking at. So, what does it say? Whatever benefit you want, you will get it. Condition. Devi Mahatmyam, when we are all childhood, it becomes a normal day-to-day affair to get food, we have to chant this. Samyak padhe nityam. Samyak. Samyak means in the proper way, if you study this, then tasya pradishtitam, you will stay stable. That's what it says. So what is the purpose? Staying stable, staying strong, unaffected by anybody. What a beautiful sloka is that. I am not affected by any other external influence, because I will realize the whole universe in the right proper direction. Got it?
So, sir, in reply of this, more clarity, like my concern is for 2 aspects. One is academic and the other is philosophical.
You keep your speaker close to your mouth. Yeah, hold it and then speak. Yeah.
So for more clarity on what you said, my concern is from 2 aspects. First is academic and philosophical.
Yeah.
So when we try to study something academically, we look for different interpretations, we look for different literary works, we look how the particular, because whenever a text travels through different languages and cultures, it modifies itself.
Yeah.
What I understood with Purana was that the symbols have to stay, the symbols stay, and sometimes the language modifies and things modify, but the symbols stay. So when I also send you the video that this person, I have read his books also, so he has done some sadhanas and some things which corresponded to the text and things I've read. So it intrigued me. So that is why I wanted to have more discussion on it. Like, so for the 2 concerns, first one is like when we understand that in the first adhyay, when Madhu Ketav comes, so one is sweetness and addiction, the other is bitterness and aversion, and then Devi fights with them, and the moral comes out to establish a balance or rise above the duality of these 2. Then the same, again another demon comes, which Mahishasura, then he says there is stubbornness and inertia, so how do you fight above them? Then another story comes that when Shumba comes and he gives the self-conceit. These are the interpretations I found. Self-conceit, and then all of these have some kind of inner demons. They relate to some kinds of inner demons, and the Devi is fighting with them, and the interpretation comes that like this is a Kundalini Shakti, and how it's related to that also. That part is philosophical. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding the concepts and everything. Like we can debate on it, but when we come to the academic part and we take some of the interpretation and see how things are working culturally, and so basically that was my concern. Why I was asking this question about interpretations.
See, if you really want to don't look at interpretations by different people. Probably one of the best method is to look at how North India looks at it, how Northeast India looks at it. The prominent temples could be there. If you look at that temple, how do they how do they interpret? What is the story behind it? Northeast, there are a lot of Devi Bhaktas. You go to South India, there are a lot of Devi temples.
in which the interpretation is entirely different. The style in which they look at Devi is entirely different. And actually there are only 700 slokas, 700 mantras, 700 lines, 13 chapters. You look at each chapter, then understand the first one itself is Madhugeda. That is why Madhugeda is very famous. See, I don't know, some lecture in some point of time I told it. Devi Mahatmyam, there is a introductory small slokas which are to be chanted before the Devi Bhagavatam, Devi Dhyana Sloka, in which we keep chanting Madhugeda Bhakti Mahisha Prana Maharudhyame Heladumradumralojana Vajdaye He Channamunnardini Nisheshi Kritarakta Bijatanuje Nityedu Sumbhavage Sumbatum Sani Samharaja Durge Duge Namastambige. This is how we chant. In which each word I said is what you said. Madhukeda Bhakti. Madhu is sweetness. Right? Kaidam is what is sorrow, unhappy, bad taste. How to remove that from the feeling? That is highly psychological. That is actually enlightening you to a higher level. That's why I said we filter the taste. We filter the sound. That's what beginning I said. Your indriyas are telling this is good, this is bad. When you don't have yama, niyama, where is good and where is bad? So removing that concept itself is what? Because you are surrendering to Devi. Mahisha Prana. Mahisha itself is, I told you, not having knowledge. Right? Chanda Munda. They are all Rakshasas who are all voracious. So get rid of them. Now from first chapter we have reached up to almost half of that. I think it is on 6th or 7th chapter. Channamunnardini. That is where Chamundeshwari comes there. So if you go to Mysore, you know Chamundeshwari story. So Kritarakta Bijam. There is a demon wherever the blood is fallen, that will become another Rakshasa. So killing her itself is a big problem, because once you smash her, some blood is oozing out. It's like today's virus. The Rakta Bija is today what we have, COVID. Wherever it goes and touches, it starts spreading. It starts growing. The Raktam, one drop of blood is, Raktam is blood. One drop of blood is good enough. The Rakta Bijam, that becomes a seed. The blood becomes a seed. Can you imagine? If I cut my finger and then put some blood, another Shashikumar will grow there. So it's very simple, no? To multiple. And such people are going for war. What will happen? And for such widespread problems, only one solution, that is Devi. That's how it says. Our problems are always adding compartment to our problems. We keep loading more and more. So, Narayani, the ultimate is Narayani. That is almost getting to the goddess who is the real refugee for all Nara. All human being can surrender to her. She will take care of us. So that concept, if you look at, I think when you look at somebody will talk about this is for Kundalini, this is for this Kavacham, that is for this Kavacham, this is to get money, this is to get a good husband, this is to get a divorce. All these interpretations are not at all practical. I am thinking, or I don't know whether any Tantri, any person who knows Tantra Shastram will prescribe like this. These are all when the humanity is in problem in the Kalikalam. When they wanted to get rid of their problems, they think all these are given as solutions. If you do this chanting 100 times, you will get a job. Assume that another person who is eligible for that chant as that 1,000 times, what will happen? They will throw you out and then put that job. Is it the way your horoscope is credited with the number of processes which you do. Nothing happens. It's all self-cleaning. Yeah, that is why I said you must look at it philosophical, academic, at Adhyatmika level. Don't look at the Manava level, Manava Nara level, who are all in tragedy. For a tragedy person, horoscope is one method to get rid of. They will go and look at everyone. I want a job, I don't have sufficient qualification, what do? Every politician is a rescue operator for me. Please give me a job. Somebody else comes, please give me a job. That's how they look at everybody. Our job is not, should not be that. Our job is like, what do a teacher do? There are 60 children. The teacher's job is only to teach. The 60 children should not come after the education is over. Madam, give me a job. Because you taught me. You know that I know things. Now you give me a job. Teacher's job is not giving. So I am sure all our scriptures are not for solving problems. The scriptures are to equip you to solve problems by yourself. If you know this, then solutions, wherever somebody is talking about solution, I think you should discard if you are looking at philosophy. All of them you put it into one class and say they are all materialistic scripture interpreters, which was not a plan of our Purana Idihasas. No Veda, no Purana Idihasa created, no temples also created by Idihasa Puranas. Sometimes it is hard to agree because I may be the only sole person who is telling because I have nothing to market here. But for rest of them they have something to market. So probably I am fighting against people who are marketing. So it's a very difficult task, I know. But I will stand with what I said.
Yes, sir, I will also agree with you. Sir, I also agree with you. Sir, there is always I have a question like, why do we go for always a kind of interpretation? The problem of interpretation is that it keeps on changing from person to person and time to time also. Because one has to understand every Mahatmya, everything from the, we should look for the translation standpoint, not for the standpoint of interpretation. Many times we also lost the significance of the text once we go by the interpretation, and the problems are coming through the interpretation when we look through the text, taking it as a simply instrumental point of view, or maybe from the standpoint of anthropocentric, from the standpoint of that, looking that it will give some kind of benefit for the human being. So as you said that rightly, that it has a spiritual significance, and we have to see that. And many times it will miss the light if we go by interpretations.
Understand, Krishna could have given advice to millions of soldiers who were there. He didn't give. He gave to Arjuna. Do you think Arjuna only had a question? The question was with everybody. But he don't waste time to silly people. You want some people who are successful, they should understand.
Yes.
Your job is not to see in the whole Purana Idihasas, when you look at it, you will understand it was all for kings. It is not because there was no king available. Even Ratnakara was not a very small man. He was a wonderful thief. He was the thief, the kings of thief, if you want, you can ask him. He know how to steal things. So what it says is, you become something excellent in your field, then you are eligible to go to the next level.
Yes.
You understood?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yamini should follow that very clearly, then only. Otherwise, if you want funding, Yeah, what you can do is you go to some swamis who are all funding agencies are there. They will give you sufficient fund. You start telling that his interpretation is best. PhD you can get funding like that. But I don't think Government of India funding is depend on somebody, some interpreter canvassing them. I mostly, that is why I am not able to look at any of the YouTube. I feel so pity on some of the speakers. They all look at what is viable, eligible for the common people, their problems, relate to them. You can become so famous and then people will listen to you. But that is not my aim. I want only one philosophy student who really understands this is what the concept is. Then 1,000 people who are at the lower level who don't understand the basics of. See, how can I interpret what Markandeya told to Jaimini in the context of a person who doesn't have food and then he wanted to get some food? Annapurneshwari Stotram, if you chant 1,000 times, food, you will get sufficient food. Annapurneshwari, the word Annam came there not for giving food to everybody. You become like an Annadada. You become so rich. Our understand basically, we never wanted anything. Every activity is yatnam, yagam. Yatnam and yagam is I don't want, I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. That is what Bharatiya Vedic teaching. One word, what Bharatiya Vedic teaching, I don't want. Who can say I don't want? Who already got sufficient things and then got fed up with this. He is at the extreme pyramid, self-actualization stage. For him only this will work. Even Bhagavad Gita, when you look at it, you will see, he will talk about only those people who reach at the higher. He will say that lower people will have to take many janmas to reach into that level. And this is more esoteric. So when it is more esoteric, people will start looking at interpretation like the blind person interpreting, looking at the elephant. The big story is there, right? You know the story, right? Yamini?
Sir, the story of the elephant.
Yeah.
People.
The blind fellows goes and touches different places and then says that this is this animal, this is. That is how most of the people. Yeah, that is how most of the people are looking at our Vedic text, or that is where, if you belong to a cult, if you belong to a cult, if you belong to a political party, the religious cult is also like that. Whatever their guru says, you will have to repeat it. You cannot question him. And most of the speakers, what you probably will look at it, are all come from one tradition. So they have probably his guru would not have thought like that. But multiple interpretations made it into lighter. So they will say, I am touching your life. That's why I said when you look at Chinmaya Swami's Bhagavad Gita interpretation, it is beautiful. But most of his lectures which are available are all done in Western places. So most of his examples are relating to Western life. Or those period, 1970s. Don't try to mix it and then put it here and then talk about that and interpret and then say what he said was correct. It is not correct even today. So Bhagavad Gita is correct. Interpretations can be time, place, my people. Now whatever I am talking to you, because you are a philosophy background, I am talking like this. But don't think that when I go to a small temple in Kerala, I will talk like this. I will talk about Devi gives you Annam, Devi gives you money, Devi Kanakathara, Stotram. You chant 1,000 times, you will get Kanakam. So you must understand which level to whom I am speaking. That is most essential. Got it? I have to speak, based on the situation.
But is it true that if you recite 1,000 times, you'll get.
That is what some people will speak. I can show you many such talks. You start searching. You start doing this Kanaka Sastram for so many times, and you chant this. Your father-in-law will die, mother-in-law will die. So many are there. Because I am sure many people will listen to you when you speak like that. Got it? See, there are so many. Mahishasura Mardini is very good for husband or the spouse. That means in-laws. In-laws have to get affected. Mahishasura Mardini puja you do. Is it black magic? We are not teaching black magic, right? If some lady is praising some other lady's husband, then Ugra Chamunda Devi is very good. Somebody speaks like that, you say that it is logical. Whether Jaimini had such a thought, I don't think. So understand from Adhyatmika level, interpret it philosophically, academically, spiritually. Then look at how Ashtabhuja Devi, how Saraswati, how Mahalakshmi, how Annapurneshwari. These are all different interpretations of Devi only. Because Devi is only one. You have millions of interpretations in her appearance style. That appearance is what you are supposed to interpret. In which there are some good text from somewhere, probably you can refer them. But if they are trying to dilute it to make it so practical for today's day-to-day problems, discard them. That's what I suggest.
Thank you. That makes it clear. So my next question is also answered by you. It was how the question was that can this text or the symbolism of this text can be related to Kundalini Shakti? So I think you said no. Yeah. But can these demons be because they are symbolized as our inner problems or inner vices? So it can be related to that, no?
See, actually the Kundalini is for you to enlighten yourself from the strongest powerful energy within you, which makes you highly creative, highly agile. All that, Ojas and Tejas, there are two parts in the life. Ojas is Prabha. The Tejas is Prabha again. The Tejas is the sunlight Prabha, which gives me energy. Ojas is my creativity Prabha, which given by the moon. So there is only two, sun and moon, who gives you energy. The Ojas Tejas is what is now we started describing it in a different style. When you look at anatomy and then explain it in the yoga style, in the breathing pattern, Yogasana, Pranayama, such things, they talk about the physical change, Kundalini and all that. Otherwise, your physiology is never part of enlightenment. That is only an emotional, mental, indriya, intellectual, and my esoteric thoughts. When you relate to one of the spare part in my body, that cannot be described in the mental sense. Manas is what is to be. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. There, my Kriya Shakti is not my physical strength. You understood? I don't have to work. I can make somebody else also to work. That Kriya Shakti is the Shakti which I have, not my physical energy. So that need not become part of the body to understand. When I am talking about Indriya, I am not talking about my ear. The ability to process what I hear is what I am talking about, that Jnanendriyas. Karmendriya is physical. Jnanendriya is more important than Karmendriya. That is why I say sometimes, if I am talking about yoga, I am talking about pranayama, then I will talk about Pingala and all that, and I will talk about Kundalini and all that I will speak. But I am not in the physical world now. I am not talking about physiological change. I am talking about psychological, emotional, intellectual, spiritual world. Then how can I come down to the other level? I should not come to the lower level. Actually, this Kundalini and all is a lower level. We have only raised it to saying that no, when you become spiritual, that will awaken. That is a natural process which you don't even have to know. I don't have to know whether my Kundalini is up or down. How does it matter to me? Have you seen Shiva or Krishna where picture Kundalini is sparkle light? A tube light is there in the Kundalini. Enlightened Kundalini. Shiva has to turn back and then show a mega power light there. Have you seen? I don't think Shiva or Krishna or Parvati has shown their Kundalini light. Probably some Sri Swami of today would have shown that. I don't think that was never part of our. That's why I keep saying we don't see Buddha, Krishna, Shiva, none of the god and goddesses standing in Shirshasana. Only from Iyengar onwards you will see. But don't relate Iyengar to our god and then say traditionally Bharatiya Shastram talked about Shirshasana. No, never spoke about Shirshasana. It's only in Yoga Shastra, the physical Yoga Shastra, not the traditional Ashtanga Yoga or Shad Yoga.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like if we have to place the Devi Shakti historically,
Yeah.
so we have to place from the Puranas or it's before Puranas, Vedas
See,
and
Purana is what somebody told from their experience. See, it is not Markandeya wrote it. What Markandeya knows about Purana, please tell me. He is not asking, show me the book. What Markandeya knows, teach that. That's what it says. And this has come in the Manvantaras. Which Manvantara we are there now? 7th Manvantara. The 2nd Manvantara itself, the Purana talks about the people who are all there. So before that Manvantara started, there would have been Devi. That is why we say Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all of them become Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara from a human nature by doing penance to Devi, the Adi Parashakti, for millions of years. Adi Parashakti, that is Devi. That's why she is the beginning. Mother is the beginning for everything. And that is what Devi is.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
And today is a good day from tomorrow onwards. But that is immaterial for me, but many people will speak. You know, today I had got a lot of messages. Somebody called and then said, this 5 o'clock I will call. I said 5 o'clock I am going to talk about Devi. Yeah, it's a good day. I said fine. For him it's fine. For me also it's fine. Otherwise every day is a good day, right? Yeah. Good enough. Anybody else wanted to say? We have Harsha here. I'm only seeing the sequence in which they are here. Kalyani is, as usual, she sent a message after the talk because she is getting less, she has to improve. Do Kanagadhara Stotram 1000 times, your connectivity will improve.
It is important.
We have Shilpa. Shilpa will have something to add. Shilpa can sing a song. Devi. Anything to ask, anything to comment, Shilpa? Manoj Kumar is there. Ajay is here. Arati is here. Arati is joining after long gap. Chandrasekhar is here. I think Asha was there. She left, I think. Yeah. There are 13 people. Anything to add?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, just wanted to add, like when you're saying that yoga, the spiritual part and the physical,
Yeah.
probably is that the reason why, even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had cancer, but still he is spiritual, but by body wise, it is like cancer is affecting his body, but he is still in that trance mode.
Yeah.
But probably couldn't or is not interested in curing himself. Like Ramana Maharshi also, he also had cancer. So probably is that the reason.
That is why I said, there is a small video which I kept in my YouTube. Illness versus disease. Illness is for the body, but disease is for the manas. Unless you take it, it is only for body. I don't care. That sort of a thing. It's good enough? Anything more to add?
Yeah.
Namaste, sir.
Asha, tell me, yeah.
Sir,
What is
Just 1 second, Yamini. Asha wanted to add something. Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you can speak, Asha.
Okay. Sir, I wanted to say that I personally feel that all these Puranas and even Devi Mahatmya also is very cathartic in nature. When you read that, you actually experience the whole events that this book describes. So you will develop a feeling that if these things can happen to these people, then I can handle any situation.
Yeah, that is what I said. It is to give you internal strength. That's it.
Yeah.
And all Purana Idihasas are all stories only. That is why you get a lot of characters, but those characters are not real characters. They are only the personification of your internal feelings, which are personified to show you. That is why Mahishasura, Mahisha is you not having knowledge. That's what we explained.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Good enough?
Yes, sir.
Shilpa ji has anything to add?
Yeah, I can sing the Ashtal.
Yeah, that will be good.
Tumalata Sundari Chandra Sapudi.
You hold the microphone close to your mouth, otherwise half is heard.
Okay. Tumalata Vandita Sundari Madhavi Chandra Sahodari Premamaye Munigana Mandita Moksha Pradayani Manjula Bhashini Devanute Pankajavasini Devasupuchita Sadgunavanshini Shanti Yuge Jaya Jaya He Madhusudana Kamini Arya Lakshmi Sada Panayamam Kalikal Kalmashanashini Kamini Vaidhi Swarupini Devamaye Shirasamudbhava Mangala Rupini Mantra Nivarini Mantranute Mangaladayini Ambujavasini Devaganakrita Patayite Jaya Jaya He Madhusudana Kamini Dhairya Lakshmi Sadapanayamam Jaya Varavandini Vaishnavi Bhargavi Mantra Swarupini Mantramaye Suragana Pujit Tuksha Pradayani Ana Viharini Shastranute Bhava Bhayaharini Papa Vimochini Sadhu Jana Patayite Jaya Jaya He Madhusudana Kamini Dhanya Lakshmi Sapanayamam Jaya Jaya Durga Vinashini Kamini Sarva Pradashasтрamaye Sakhagaja Surada Parajita Mavrita Parijana Mandita Lokate Harihara Brahma Supuchita Sevita Tapani Nipatayite जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि गजलक्ष्मी नयमा कैकघवाहिनि मोहिनि चक्रिणि ज्ञानविवर्धिनि ज्ञानमये सुरगणपूजितलोकहितैषिणि स्वरविभूषणि गाननुते सकलसुरासुरदेवमुनीश्वर मानवमण्डितपादयुते जय जय हे मधु कामिनि सन्तानलक्ष्मि सदपालय माम् जय कमलासनि सद्गतिदायिनि ज्ञानविनाशिनि ज्ञानमये अनुदिनमच्युत मधुसर भूषितवासितवाध्यनुते कम कनकधरा स्तुति वैभववन्दित विषित मान्यपते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि विजयलक्ष्मी सदपालय माम् प्रणकसुरेश्वरि भारति भार्गवि शोकविनाशिनि रत्नमये मणिमयभूषित भूषण शक्तितमापितहास्यमुखे नवनिधिदायिनि तरिमलहारिणि कामितफलप्रद हस्त्रयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदन विद्यालक्ष्मी सदपालय माम् धिमि धिम धिमि धिम धिमि धिम धिमि धुम धुबिनाथ सुपूर्णमये घुम 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 शिक्षनाथ सुर गाननुते देवपुराणिहास सुपूजित वैदितमात प्रदर्शयिते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि धनलक्ष्मी सदपालय माम् Thank you. Hare Krishna.
See, this actually praises the Devi Sankalpa. Unless that is what in the Nane's principles of teaching, you must get your students get attracted to the teacher, then only whatever you speak will have an impact. So similarly, the Dhyana Sloka and these slokas are all created to create bhakti, so that when you listen to the real Devi Mahatmyam, you will really appreciate it. You will think beyond the small things. Good one. Pranams. Beautiful. Good, Yamini? Good enough?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So start from a clean slate. Don't write on somebody's slate what somebody has written. Very difficult to remove scratches. If you belong to some category of ashrams, then it's different. If you are not, go blank, straight. I think a researcher should go like that.
But in this context, I remember Nagarjun said something relating to this, that never travel a path which has already been traveled, not traveled a path which has not yet been traveled.
Yeah.
So what?
You must let, that is what I'm saying, you have to relate to things, nothing wrong. That is why I said you classify most of the interpreters, you don't go untouched. So then it will feel that you are not even read and heard about them. You say all these people have spoke about this, but you like to do it in this time. That will, the literature survey you cover everything. But don't take them into methodology and conclusions. Okay? Good. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Namaste.
Bhima was there? I couldn't see in the list. I missed someone.
Thank you, sir.
What did you get today?
Sorry. I
ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഞാൻ ലെഫ്റ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു, അതിനുശേഷം കയറിയത് കുറെ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ കയറിയത്.
Fine, fine.
അപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് എനിക്ക്
Yeah, you can listen in the YouTube. It may be little higher. Spiritual things are much higher than practical religion. Yeah, Harsha, all the best, beta. Arati, Bala.
Thank you, sir.
Arati is there.
Thank you, sir.
Busy these days. Academics, education,
Yeah.
good.
Arranging Navaratri Golu dolls.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The session was great, sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thanks. Learned a lot.
Thank you, Harsha.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.